So, so first of just your first name.
Hi, I'm Goody.
Goody. I love it. Goody.
My name's actually Gudrun, but everybody calls me Goody, so I've been Goody for a long time now.
I just want to talk over what you just said about what was happening to your mother in the hospital. So you couldn't see her for
In the
6
nursing
months.
home,
In the nursing home, you couldn't see her for 6 months.
we didn't see our parents for 6 months except through FaceTime, and until my mother went to hospital. She was in hospital for 2 days before she passed away, and we were allowed to go and see her then. But then, of course, I had to go home through the Ring of Steel and tell the police, different policemen every time, why I'd gone to Dandenong, why I'd gone out of my way. And when Mum passed away, we had to go and see my dad and tell him that she'd passed away with all our lovely PPE gear on. My poor father at 92,
Now, these people had been married for 70 years.
70 years. We'd had celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary just before the big lockdown. And the entire family, and then Mum and Dad were separated for Mum to go to hospital. We couldn't take my father to the funeral because if we'd taken him out of the nursing home, he would have been locked in his room for 2 weeks without seeing anybody except nursing staff.
So 70 years together, and they couldn't die together. They couldn't be together at the end,
No.
and he couldn't even go to the funeral.
And no, he couldn't go to the funeral. We couldn't even take him to the hospital. The same thing. He would have been locked in the room for 2 weeks, which was absolute. We lost him in 9 months later. We lost Dad. Nothing to do with the jabs or anything. We don't know because we think he had his first jab, but we don't know because my sisters won't talk about it. But we lost him in 2021. And then, of course, come Christmas.
Can I ask, before you go there, were you close with your mum?
Oh, yes.
So what was it like not seeing her, not being allowed to see her for 6 months?
It was dreadful. It was absolutely dreadful. I could have gone. I could have driven from here to Dandenong, which is the nursing home where they were, so that I could see them through a piece of glass. No hugs, no nothing. And I would go and see Mum 2 or 3 times a week because she wanted her family around. She was a real family person, and it was just unfair. So, and then Christmas came, and
Did she die with family?
no, we were all. She was in the hospital. And nobody was in there with her at the time.
So even though she's a huge family person, had a huge loving family, she died alone.
She died alone, yes, in the hospital. So, and they finally did relent and let us come in. We were allowed in 2 at a time, but then on the last day they decided there was too many of us because I've got 2 brothers, 2 sisters. Between us we had 12 children. They
All her grandchildren.
all her 12 grandchildren Mum and Dad had. They had 24 great-grandchildren and 4 great-great-grandchildren when Mum passed away.
So a destiny that should be absolutely celebrated.
Absolutely. There was 5 generations.
Instead, she dies alone.
Yes, and she still dies alone. It was just horrific. And then the funeral, none of the family was allowed to come. When I say none of the family, there was 9 of us because we couldn't bring Dad, but the kids and their partners all came. But yes, there was only 9 at her funeral, which was absolutely horrific. And they had the seats set 6 feet apart, and we just moved all the seats and sat close together and held hands, even though they didn't want us to. It was Mum's. We had to honour Mum somehow. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm crying. What I'm saying is, basically, the price they made us pay for getting through the pandemic was our humanity.
Absolutely. It was inhuman. It was just cruel. And Dad couldn't understand it. I'd go and visit him in the nursing home. They actually allowed Dad to have visitors in the nursing home, even though we hadn't. I mean, at that stage, they'd only just started with the jabs. So I'd had to have my flu jab, otherwise they wouldn't have let me in. But I hadn't had to have a COVID jab. Dad passed away in June 21, but we were allowed to go and visit him, and I've forgotten where I was going to go with that. Dad would say, "Oh, goody, Mum's not here. I'll ring her. Just ring Ursula, and she'll bring her back. She's gone shopping with Ursula, I think." It was because Dad didn't realise she had died. He was in the start of dementia. He wasn't terribly bad, but he didn't realise she'd gone. So he would say, "Oh, Mum, oh goody, Mum must be shopping." And of course I couldn't let go of my emotion because I had to try and keep him going. We did tell him time and time again that she's gone. Yeah, it was very hard.
You came here.
When I met Jesus Christ, he was almost 10 years old, and he was helping his mother push a trolley full of all they owned. And because they couldn't find an inn they could get in, they were heading to the city and leaving Bethlehem. "Couldn't you perform a miracle? I'm out of them," he said. "I tried turning nothing into warmth, but it just made my mother cry. It just made my mother cry."
So you're in this town, and this is where you used to meet for Stand in the Park. So Stand in the Park was something that helped?
Oh, it was a real help. We still come here. It was a real help. My husband was, as I said before, he just didn't have empathy. He didn't, and he wasn't well enough to come. And I would talk to him, but then I came down here to sort of vent a bit, because I couldn't vent to my husband because he was too sick. And Stand in the Park was a real saviour for me. It was wonderful. And they're still wonderful people.
Well, I'm interviewing Brady Gunn, who's a good mate, today. Is there anything you want to say to Brady? Because he set up Stand in the Park. The first few weeks or months, he was all by himself until finally people found the courage. So have you got anything to say to Brady? You make his day?
Brady, I just want to thank you. Stand in the Park has been a real lifesaver for me. It was really wonderful, and most of us feel the same way. We're just so grateful for Stand in the Park. I still have a coffee morning with some of the women from Stand in the Park every Wednesday, and it is a lifesaver.
Mary Magdalene has become a man, and tonight he's old, and she has been riding my tram. Now it's late and she's trying to sleep beneath a poster for a bank. Your dreams are important to us as it bathes her face in gold.
Okay, just tell them about Christmas.
We got a message on our family page that anybody who didn't have the vaccination wasn't allowed to come to the Christmas Eve, which we celebrated as German origins. And when I wrote back, "Okay, well, we won't be there." So one of my sisters rang me the next day and started crying. It was at her house we had Christmas, and started crying. "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "Well, you made your decision, goodbye," and hung up on her because I was so angry.
And this was all from Dan Andrews.
All from Dan Andrews, because Dan Andrews said you can't have your family for Christmas. How absolutely
Unvaccinated family.
unvaccinated family, yes. And the thing with for me was one of my girlfriends. Now, I've known her since I was 14, so it's nearly 60 years. And she said to me, well, I'm vaccinated, so I'm safe, and would come and give me a cuddle, arms around me and give me a cuddle. She knew, and this is what people should have believed. If I'm vaccinated, I'm safe. Why would you have it otherwise? Why would you have this jab otherwise?
The sad thing is, Christmas was a homage to love. So when they didn't allow people to come, basically fear defeated love that Christmas.
Absolutely, and fear has been the biggest thing with all this. It's just caused so many problems, and my daughters still think I'm crazy, but I don't have to worry about it because the ones who think I'm crazy won't see this because they don't believe in all this. They don't know people like Michael.
Well, you seem pretty sane to me.
Thank you.
Come give us your natural gifts. We make wealth from toil.